Okay.
Hello, I'm going to be going over the camper with you today. My name is Eric with Parkland RV. Pretty much we're going to start up front here. This guy here is going to be your battery disconnect. Pretty much you're going to be using this guy anytime you're kind of storing the camper and not using it. All it's going to do is just turn and pulls the key out. Pretty much it just makes sure nothing is draining your battery while it is being stored. This guy here is going to hold the 7-way cord where it will plug into here, and then the other one will plug into your tow vehicle. You do have this guy right here, so that if for some reason the batteries were dead, you can actually hook it up to jumper cables to help extend the jacks once the motors come in for these guys. And then you also have the option for a solar panel if you wanted to set it on the ground. You do have manual jacks at this time. There is a note inside the unit to let you know that you are getting the motors once they have come into the supplier from the suppliers. There is a manual crank for these guys at this time inside the coach, and I will show you that once we go inside. Next, we have the water station area for the most part. You got your freshwater connection. Pretty much this is gravity fed, so you're just going to stick the hose in and let it fill. There's the indicator inside that will tell you when the tank is full. When it is, then you're going to shut that water off and be done. Next, you have the city water connection. Pretty much this guy here is just if you had a water source provided for you, you're going to make sure that you have a pressure regulator at the water spigot first. From there, most people will have the option of an inline water filter, then your water hose, and it would tie in right into here. Pretty much turn it on, and it's going to be ready to just go in your coach, and things are ready. This guy right here is going to be your 30 amp power cord. This is located pretty much yours to take with you. You do have an outside 110 connection. It is GFCI protected. Here you have the option to hook up to a campground cable or if you had a satellite. Underneath here you're going to have 2 low point drains. You got red for the hot line, blue for the cold line. Pretty much whenever you're done camping, you're going to want to remove those caps, open up a faucet. As you're kind of riding home, that air will go through the lines and help get a lot of that excess water out for you. This guy here is going to be the back of the furnace. You got your intake and outtake. It is important that you do get mud dauber screens to put over the top of this. It just helps keep those guys out, but it is pretty costly to have us repair or service. Here you have your outside shower where you do have the options of hot and cold water. This guy here is going to be your on-demand water heater. You do have a main on and off switch here. If this switch is not on, the control panel inside will not operate. You do have a pressure relief valve here. And then down here is going to be where your handles are to dump the black tank and your gray tank. As you see, the handles are labeled for you, and they are actually 2 separate drains. Next, you do have the ladder to the roof that is meant for inspection only. You're not trying to go up there and have parties. You're just looking at the sealant to make sure no air bubbles or anything like that has occurred or cracks in it. If so, you see that, just kind of clean the surface and reseal it with the lap sealant. There is a weight capacity of 250 pounds for the ladder. You do have the option for a backup camera if you would like to have one there. You have your porch light here. This guy is motion censored. That's what this little knob is down here at the bottom. Pretty much for the entry door, you have your options for just the screen door to be open if you like. This guy will close to help keep the bugs out. The red in the handle is going to be for the deadbolt of the door only. When it is closed, your door handle lock, to lock that, you are going to turn it to the right and the key would come out. For your deadbolt, same key, you're going to stick it in the deadbolt and turn to the left to lock it, and then you go back up and down to pull the key out. Turn it to the right to unlock, you just hear the click, but you can also pull the key out. That also shows you did not lock the deadbolt. I am going to step inside just for a second to open up your awnings. You have one here above the doorway, and then you have another one on the side of the coach. And I will show you those operations once we step inside. you have awning 1. You got to extend and retract. And that is going to be the one that is on the side of the coach, which you would be able to see it through the window as it comes out, and it does droop low. The reason for that is so you can access the arms, and I'm going to show you that here in just a moment. Once we step outside, you'll see about the angle on those arms. Generally, we want to try to have that at that angle, pretty much straight out. You'll have ripples in the awning. And then awning 2 is going to be our rear one to extend that. And this guy is not very large. It just pretty much just covers the entry door area. So as you see, you got this slight little angle on these arms. And you want that, and as you see, it's pretty nice, good, and solid. We will step over here to the side. I'll show you this awning here. Once again, you got the angle on the arms. To release these guys here, there's a little guy right here. You just snap him back. This guy comes out. This will here then twist, and this extends. This will then go into this piece here, set it in, push it inward, and then push that down to lock the arm in. From there, you can extend this out, and there's a little piece here on the inside, right here, that you're going to flip, and then you got to really flip it hard to lock that arm in. Okay, we will go ahead and go do the other side as well. We're just going to snap it on loose. Pull them out. Twist to lock our arm in. Make sure that's lifted up. Drop from the bottom first. Lock her in. Go as high as you like. This is pretty much about its full extension right there, and then you're just going to snap those back to lock it in. And there you go. As you see, I do have the other side, not as far down as this side here. But you can have that little pitch if you like. You do also have the awning lights there on. And I also have the radio on so you can hear your outside speakers at this time. Now I'll show you how to operate both of those once we have stepped back inside the unit. Pretty much the reverse concept of putting the arms back in. Make sure your foot's facing the back part of that. And then just snap to lock them in. Alright? So pretty much right here, you do have just a area to access underneath. So you can use your truck bed as storage. Inside here, you're going to have two 20-pound propane tanks. Got one on, one off. You like to do that so you actually do know when you run out of propane in the unit. The gauge here will also tell you when your tank is empty. Then you also do have your regulator here, tells you what tank you're using. As you see, our indicator right now is green, telling us that we got good propane flow coming from this tank here. Once this tank is empty, this will turn red, telling us the tank is empty. If you do have both tanks on, it will automatically start siphoning from the other tank. But then again, you won't know when the tank is empty. Okay, until you come out here and this guy here will show you red because it's trying to read this tank here and there's no propane flow. All you would do is just flip this guy to that tank, turn this off, remove it, and go get it refilled. To remove, you're going to take these nuts here, and you got to access from underneath where the lock bolt is. They're a little harder to see here. Pretty much these guys right here. So as you loosen that bolt, that guy will start to slide down. You just got to kind of hold that with your hand as you finish removing the nut on top. There's one for both sides. But then this bolt will just pretty much drop out, and then you can pull the tank out. This here is going to be the back of the refrigerator. There is really not a whole lot you have to really do in here. The only thing you would maybe do is check for mud dauber nests. Other than that, this is where most of the functions are for the refrigerator operations. All right, we will step on inside. At this time, I am going to go ahead and at least bring our awnings back in because there is a slight breeze today. We'll go ahead and start with number 2 here, bringing in our entry door awning. You'll hear it kind of hit when it comes in. And then we'll go ahead and bring in number 1. Alright, this guy right here is just going to control this little blue light here, kind of a little entry light. Also, while we're down here below, once the motors come in, this is going to be your remote control to operate those. And this is going to be the switch so that you can sync to them. On the back of the remote, it tells you how to do that. It is pretty simple. If you also do have the option where it does come with a cord where you can plug the remote in. Move this guy right here. You can plug the remote in here, and it's an automatic connection. But you can also sync it, so if you wanted to walk around outside and mess with it and you could see it visually, you can do it that way also. You do have your fire extinguisher down below. Pretty much here we got the refrigerator. Up top is going to be our controls for this guy. You have the option to turn it on or off. And then here you have the options for auto, or you can turn that off and it will switch to gas. Your check light will come on if it does not fire on propane. Pretty much leave it in auto. Anytime you plug into the unit, it will automatically come on. And if for some reason there was a power surge and you lost power, it would automatically switch to propane as long as the propane is on. Here. Operations to open is going to be up here. Just pull the handle to open. You got your fridge section, and then your freezer is going to be located up here. If it seems like the fridge is not getting quite cool enough, you can actually adjust this guy upward to make it colder, downward to make it warmer, so if it seems like things are freezing. And they also do have startup instructions located down here at the bottom of the fridge also. Okay, so we'll come back to our control panel here. Just talk about a couple of the other items that was on here. You have your battery source here. Tells you how our battery is looking. Right now it's going to show us full because we are plugged in, so it is charging, doing what it's supposed to. You got the fresh tank. As you see, I do have water in the fresh tank right now to show you water systems. The black is going to be empty, and our gray is also full right now, so we just need to pull our valve to empty that. Just to kind of show you and see that our sensors are working properly. Here we have the water pump. Turn that guy on. We can start using the water that we have in the fresh tank. You got our living room lights. Pretty much just turns off the entry light near the air conditioner. And then we have our porch light. And then we have our 2 awning lights. You do have the option, or pretty much your push button here to turn this guy on manually. You have your windows. These guys just twist out to open. The one next to it is one of your fire escape windows. Pretty much you guys just flips, pushes out. This is on a hinge, so the whole window would come out so you guys could climb out if you couldn't make it to the entry door. And then you do have your blinds here. And they are auto retract. This guy here does fold down into a bed position as well. Just simple lift. This guy here is going to be for your table. Pretty much you got your one leg here. As you see, you're going to have a weird looking guy on the bottom. That's what that guy screws into. It will twist and lock tight. From there, then you just have your table here in. And he's just going to sit right inside, and there you go. As you see, this guy is not the most sturdiest of things, so don't be trying to use this as a prop to try to stand up off of the table. But it could rotate if you wanted to as well, so you guys could still sit on the table and be able, or on the couch and still be able to have dinner. And this guy just twists to remove. And it does have a center cap piece right here that goes in the hole there, so it is covered. They do provide a sewer holder for you for the sewer hose. It is not mounted, so that way you can find a better position. Pretty much this guy who twists to open up, sewer hose goes in. Pretty much, like I said, whatever you find a suitable position, once the bed is on the truck, you can mount this to it. This guy here is going to be the pole for the manual part of your awning. If for some reason the motors don't want to work, you can still use this guy. Up above, you do got cabinet spaces, closet space here. You do got the smoke detector up above. Each side does have reader and a dimmer light. You got our fan that is operated, power operated. And it does have 4 different fan speeds. So you would open this guy up here. Like so. You're going to turn this guy on. And right now I do have it on the highest setting speed, which is the 4th speed. If you have it on 1, it doesn't go really fast. And then turn it off. The handle also does have a locking position where if you push it up, it will lock it in place. You do have another fire escape window located up above here. We got our TV here, pretty much our remote for him. Turn them on and off. Pretty much anytime you get to a new area, you do got to usually scan for channels. Let this guy get going. I'll show you how to do that briefly. Pretty much what you're going to do is you would push your menu button. And then you're going to go to channels. Go down to air and then hit auto scan. And then from there it would do a scan. It will search channels. We already heard our outside speakers. That was our speaker zone 2. Speaker zone 1 will be our inside speakers. Those are located up above the bed. I do also have this tied in. Pretty much our connections back here have it tied in to where you can also watch DVDs through this guy. It is not a Blu-ray player, just strictly regular DVDs. Up here is going to be where the TV antenna booster is. As you see, there's going to be a little red light on there. Pretty much, you turn that on and off. You would push that button. That you're going to do that if you are using campground cable, because the cable signal is going to go through the same signal as the antenna, so you have to shut the antenna source off for that cable signal to come through. From there, you would just change the options from air to cable on the scan channel option. And then from there, it will do its thing. Then the other port above it is for the cable or satellite. For that port that was outside. This is going to be where we operate the furnace. Pretty much all the way over is going to be in the off position. You'll feel a little click, and you can adjust it. I don't know if you can hear, but it did just kick on. It is just a single unit. There is no duct work. So it just blows directly out from the furnace. This guy here is going to be the remote for the radio. You can change channels, adjust the volume, different sound, modes, things along that nature. It is also used for the DVD aspect also. We got our bag here. It contains most of our manuals for all the appliances in the coach. Forest River do not put manuals for their campers in paper form anymore. It is strictly going to be online only. We did leave the sticker on the entry door so that you can download the app for that. These are going to be our other set of keys. It does come with 2 sets. These will be placed near the entry door. This was our manual crank that I spoke about until our motors come in. This guy here is going to be that 7-way adapter, so this would plug into the trailer, and then this one's going to plug into your tow vehicle. These are just extra components here for the TV, pretty much legs, things along that nature. You most likely won't use any of this stuff in here, but it was in the box, so they put it in the coach. So, underneath here, we're going to slide this guy back. I actually do have the screws removed out of this so I can show you this. Pretty much this guy will come off. And inside here you're going to have where you can have 2 batteries. At this time we have one 27 series battery installed. It does have solar, which is going to be this control panel right here. It tells you the voltage and it knows when to regulate the amount to charge the batteries. This guy is set up on the back side of the battery disconnect, so if the battery disconnect is turned off, this will still charge your batteries for you if need be. This guy right here is going to be for whenever you go to winterize your camper. Pretty much you got this guy here that will go into your antifreeze. You're going to turn this knob right here, and then it's going to use the water pump to winterize your coach. So to drain your water or your fresh water tank, that is going to be located pretty much right underneath the front side here of your battery box. It might be a little difficult to see, but you'll be able to put your hand kind of down here. I'll see if I can't try to get you a little visual here. Right here. And you're just going to pull that guy up to start draining the tank. Like I said, it may be difficult to try to see in there, but it is located right underneath this corner right here where my finger is located. Well, I'm also down here. This is where your GFCI reset is. So if for some reason any of the outlets ain't working, check this guy here. This guy here is going to be your LP/carbon monoxide detector. This guy you do want to test usually every 7 to 14 days, depending on how long you are camping. I am going to go ahead and press this now so you can hear it as well. And pretty much what we're doing now is running a test. And it will go off one more time. So if any of these guys, if this ever goes off, do take the emergency precautions. You do want to try to get everyone out of the coach. Make sure you turn the propane off and get at least 50 feet away for 15 minutes. After that, one person comes inside. I like to tell them the first place they like to check is the stove. The reason why is because sometimes you might be leaning on a knob or you slid on a knob and it can actually turn them on. So that is always one of the first places you would like to check. Okay? And then the last thing down here is going to be our fuse control panel box. Pretty much anything that runs off 110 is going to be on the breakers, and it is labeled here for you. And then anything that would run off the battery is going to be on the 12 volt or fuses here, and they are also labeled for you as well. It does not hurt. Usually it looks like you got a couple of 15s and 30s. The 40 usually you don't have to replace it very often, but it doesn't hurt to have an extra set of 15s and 30s on hand. Alright, so for our stove, this guy here is going to flip up our light, our fan. Give that guy just a second. Alright, from there you're going to turn this guy to the light position. Keep it held in and turn till it lights. As you see there. What we are also doing is cycling propane through the unit because the canisters was not on when I was showing you those. But now pretty much we can go here. They're going to go ahead and instantly light for us. With the oven, this guy here, you're going to turn, twist to the pilot position. It's written on a knob. You got to push and hold this in. Sadly, with this model, though, this spark igniter does not ignite the oven, so you do have to use a barbecue lighter to light it. To do so, you're just going to have that pilot in the pilot position and on, and then you're going to have your barbecue lighter down here to light. Once you see the flame is lit on there, you're going to hold that in for 5 to 7 seconds, then set your temperature. This was the furnace that I was talking about, pretty much just a direct airflow out. You do have the cabinet here. Here is the slip from the factory to talk about your electronic motorized jacks for the coach. That's like their WEO sheet for that for you guys. And then this other one here was just for the stove, which those will be put in your bag for you. We do have the air conditioner installed here. Pretty much this is a manual controlled options. Here you can direct the air either up there, over there, wherever you would like, just by moving these guys up or down. If you do not have these open, if these are all closed, you have to make sure at least this is open. It's got to have somewhere for that air to escape, okay? This here is what they consider to be a direct dump the air in. Pretty much these vents are just open to dump it in. You can also close them off. From there you would have these ones on the side open. Here's where you're going to be turning it on and off. The blue side is going to be for the cold. The gray side is going to be for just the fan. Okay? These air conditioners do have an option to where a heat pump or heat strip can be installed. That's what the red little dot is going to be for. And then from there you can actually use some heat. This model does not have that on it. But you can adjust the thermostat like so. So if you don't want it as cold in here, you just adjust your knob. Next we're going to have the microwave. Pretty self-explanatory. There isn't really a whole lot to go over with the microwave. A lot of times during travel, people will remove this and try to the glass plate and try to set that in a cabinet where it isn't bouncing all around and potentially get damaged. Then behind our door here is going to be the bathroom. It is a all-in-one style bathroom. So you do have an outlet here as well. Whenever you go to use the shower, you do have to make sure that this guy is covered here. Okay, to keep that water out of that area. You do have a fan up there as well where it just pushes up, and then you got your power button to turn it on. This guy here, whenever you go to take a shower, you would have to remove this because that is where your drain is located, is underneath. This is pretty much just a nice little foot plate here for if you're using the restroom or washing your hands. So whenever you go to add water to do your business, you're going to lightly press on this pedestal. It will add water to the tank. Once you're done, all the way down to flush. Okay. I will also go ahead and show you your shower here real quick. So for that, you're going to turn this guy on here. And then you're going to pull this up. Drop it back down to shut it off. Alright, so I am going to actually backtrack just a little bit, come over here and actually show you the monitor for the on-demand water heater. So pretty much you can turn it on or off. Right now I do have it set at the highest setting, which is 124. You can adjust that to your liking, but its max set is 124. You can also change it between Celsius and Fahrenheit. Like I said though, if you hit that switch outside on the water heater itself, this will actually shut this control panel down and you won't be able to use no functions on this. Whenever you go to winterize, you do always want to make sure that this is turned off so that antifreeze would still cycle through the water heater, but we're not trying to heat it up. Okay? And then other than that, that is all there is for your coach. Thank you for your time and I hope you get to enjoy it.